Hey, thanks for joining me today. Today we're making one of my favorite salads, and it's a Greek Spanakopita salad. It's delicious, it's easy, huge payoff. Let's get started. Okay, to start one of my very favorite salads, take a couple handfuls of nuts and put them on a baking sheet or just in your toaster oven. Set your oven at 350, and then the phyllo dough, when we get to that, we're going to put that in the oven too for a few minutes. So I'm going to get these toasted up. Okay, the walnuts are out of the oven. I left them in there 6 minutes. Beautifully toasted. You could put them in a little longer, but you have to watch out because oils are nuts and they will burn. See that black one sort of on the left there? He could be all going that way if you kept it in even 2 more minutes. So watch them. Okay, and a couple of these steps can go in different order, but this is the way I'm going to do it. This box is a 1 pound box, and we need about 1/4 of that. And we're going to cut into squares. So let's see. I think the easiest way for me will be down the middle. But what we do is gently pull back the sheets. Now you could use butter and melt it and use a pastry brush and go layer by layer with your melted butter. But I love heart healthy olive oil, and I love that sprayer, especially in something like this, comes in very handy. So I'm just going to spray the first layer. I scoot that board up so you can see. I'm spray the first layer and then roll it back. This is going to go in the oven for 2 to 3 minutes at 350, and you got to keep your eye on it, okay? We need half of a small onion. Since I have a big onion, we're going to use about 1/6 of it. And if that's too much, then we just back down and use less than that. And then I'm going to put those onions in a little water to take off the harshness that can sometimes be on an onion. And when it's a salad, let's say you're sharing this with somebody, you don't want any huge surprises of just burning somebody, right? Some of these onions can be very strong. I think that's enough. And then just put them in ice water, break them apart. We're going to drain that off. And just let all that harsh onion flavor seep out of there, and then they will stay nice and crunchy too. Then we will also cut up a couple scallions, and those go in there. So there's 2 kinds of onion in here, and it calls for 2 scallions, but I love scallions, so I'm going to cut up a couple extra. You don't have to if you don't want to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. In fact, you could even add beans to this. I've got a can of Great Northern. You could add cannellini beans, and what you would probably want a white bean instead of like a black or a red bean, so that it's visually nice to look at, right? And another great part of this dressing is this dill oil, which is amazing. So we're going to use 1/4 cup of good olive oil. Use some good stuff. This is flavor. This isn't cooking olive oil. This is a salad dressing. And this will make a little bit more, so you'll have it and you can use it the rest of the week or use it on something else. And then about 10 grams of dill. And that's about a 1/2 cup loosely packed. And this is so interesting in there. And so you could put this in a Cuisinart, you know, and get things kind of dirtied up or whatever, but I'm going to use a stick blender. Okay, so drop that in. Then put in 1 to 3 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. You could even use lemon juice. It's grease. They use lemon juice all the time. But when you make a dressing, you always need an acid. So I'm just going to blend this up. Oh, you guys, if you could smell this. And put in a pinch of salt. We can always add a little more later, but we want to just make sure we have a little bit in there. And then I'm going to pour it into this little pitcher. See, and after the phyllo cooled down, look at, they're all in sheets. Everybody's crunchy, ready to deliver flavor. This salad is an amazing assembly. If I was doing it for me and a friend, I would use a nice glass bowl or a plastic bowl. It doesn't matter. This is kind of elevated. I got that at an antique store, but it doesn't matter what you put it in. I'm going to put it on a plate since it's just me, but I wanted to show you. You're going to see how beautiful this is in presentation. It's up to you how you want to make it look, but just so you can make it easy, you just drizzle a little of the oil on the base. Let it slide in. In my case, it's going to slide in. And then place a couple of the sheets of the phyllo. And I take a little of the spinach, put in a couple of handfuls. Take out the ones you don't like. I kind of went through there. Sometimes some of this can look a little shaggy, but it's going to taste the same. And I put the lightest amount of dressing because you just really want to drizzle this. We're going to have feta cheese, scallions, the red onions, and you want this glistening. You don't want this heavy. Not at all. And just assemble it. And put a couple of your nuts. I'm going to spray them with a little oil to glisten them. And then they'll hold a little salt. And I put the nuts sort of on the outside as I pile this up. Then I crumble just a little cheese. Sorry, that was messy. And crumble it with your hands. This is what makes it very beautiful. You don't want it all cubed. That looks like you're at some sort of strip mall restaurant. This is a lovely salad for you. And then put a couple of the scallions on. There we go. What a beauty. That Spanakopita salad is a beauty, a showstopper. But first of all, it is tasty. That dill oil, game changer. I want to thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.